Chapter 71. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This tea tree does not look special, and it grows by a spring. However, when Changfeng scanned it with his mind, he felt that it exuded a strange Tao charm. At first, he did not notice it, but he found it after sensing it several times. Changfeng came to the tea tree and looked it up and down. This tea tree is more than one person tall, and it is very inconspicuous in the secret realm. It is quite lush, and the leaves rustle in the wind, as if it sensed someone coming nearby. The crown of the tea tree trembled slightly. Changfeng's eyes lit up. This tea tree is very spiritual, maybe I will pick up a treasure. Picked a few leaves of tea and chewed them in his mouth. Instantly, a Tao charm rushed straight to the sea of consciousness, and Changfeng felt a sense of clarity in the sea of consciousness, and his understanding of the skills and boxing seemed to have deepened. After a long time, this Tao charm disappeared, and Changfeng recovered. What a great treasure! I finally know what Master Yufu relied on to enter the fusion realm. According to Changfeng's estimation, this tea tree has reached the level of acquired spiritual roots, and it can also be ranked as a medium grade 1 among acquired spiritual roots. Spiritual roots are extremely precious plants in the world, very rare, and generally have very special effects. The spiritual plants that Changfeng harvested in the spiritual medicine garden before and the natural materials and treasures needed to practice Xiantian holy body, are far from being called spiritual roots. Even a super-large sect like Huangting's sect would not be so extravagant as to treat spiritual roots as consumables. Divine objects are self-concealed, and spiritual roots are difficult to find in normal conditions. Therefore, cultivators and sects with spiritual roots are all blessed with luck. When encountering spiritual roots, any sect will worship them like ancestors, regard them as the sect's eternal heritage, and suppress the sect's luck. The lifespan of spiritual roots is long, almost as long as the heaven and earth. Although they are born with spirituality, it is extremely difficult to give birth to spiritual intelligence, let alone transform into a human form. The higher the grade, the more difficult it is. According to the grade, spiritual roots are divided into innate spiritual roots and acquired spiritual roots, and each spiritual root is divided into 4 levels: low grade, medium grade, high grade and top grade. Innate spiritual roots are born when the world was first created, and they are almost impossible to see in the lower world. Acquired spiritual roots are bred when the world is constantly evolving, and they exist in both the upper and lower worlds. Spiritual roots generally do not have much attack power, but their effectiveness can be called a cheat on the road of cultivation. Those high-grade and top-grade innate spiritual roots are all famous in the world, and even Changfeng has heard of them in the Xianwu continent, according to his memories of his previous life and the information he found in the Huangting sect. There are many innate spiritual roots in the upper world, and their effectiveness can be called against the sky. Ginseng fruit trees are top-grade innate spiritual roots, which bear fruit once every 9,000 years. Eating one can live as long as the world and live forever. Huang Hongli, a top-grade innate spiritual root, bears fruit once every 100,000 years. A mortal who eats it can become a golden immortal immediately. You should know that a golden immortal is also a powerful person in the upper realm. Gourd vine, a top-grade innate spiritual root, breeds 7 top-grade innate spiritual treasures and contains the power of creation. With the increase of experience, Changfeng can now be sure that he has traveled to a subsidiary world under the prehistoric world. It is just that he is not sure what stage the prehistoric upper realm has developed to. Judging from the remnant of Jin Yangzi he encountered, the war between witches and liches should have ended long ago, but he is not in a hurry. When his cultivation reaches the realm of great power, he will be able to learn about the situation in the prehistoric upper realm from the sect. The tea produced by this tea tree found in the secret realm can improve the cultivator's comprehension in a short time after drinking, which has a great effect on comprehending the skills and breaking through the bottleneck. It seems that Yu Fujianren broke through to the fusion stage with this middle-grade acquired spiritual root, maybe because of his low level of comprehension. This tea could not support him to break through to the crossing tribulation stage. Changfeng was very satisfied with this tea tree. Finally, he had a treasure that he could show off. In the future, when his close friends and teachers came to the Taoist temple, he could also make a few cups of spiritual tea to show off his face. This is the advantage of being a true disciple of a super-large sect. Even if he took out some tea leaves of the acquired middle-grade spiritual root level, no one would covet it, because the tea leaves of this tea tree are slightly bitter. Changfeng named it the bitter tea tree. The function is somewhat similar to that of the top-level innate spiritual root enlightenment tea tree in the prehistoric upper realm, but the efficacy is far worse, and it is simply a world of difference. According to legend, the enlightenment tea tree produces 10 pieces of Tao tea leaves every 100,000 years. After taking it, you can improve your comprehension of the Tao. However, Changfeng is already very satisfied to have the bitter tea tree, a middle-grade acquired spiritual root. His expression moved, and he noticed the spring next to the bitter tea tree. The spring water is ordinary and looks nothing special. Changfeng bent down and scooped up a handful of spring water. Instantly, the spring water in his hand exuded a strong aura. He drank it in one gulp. It was sweet and refreshing. It turned out to be a rare mouthful of spiritual spring. It turned out that due to the self-concealing property of the bitter tea tree's spiritual roots, the spiritual spring where it took root could not see any special features. Changfeng was overjoyed. Without saying a word, he used his means to move the bitter tea tree and the spiritual spring into his own cave treasure, the Qianquan pot. Only a huge deep pit was left on the ground. Now we even have water for making tea, which is really good. In the Qianquan pot, Changfeng took out a bottle of creation spirit liquid and poured it into the roots of the bitter tea tree that had just settled in the pot. You just moved, these are gifts, but you have to grow well. Regardless of whether the bitter tea tree could understand or not, Changfeng said to it. Next, he searched in the secret realm for more than an hour. After confirming that there was nothing worth taking away, Changfeng prepared to leave the secret realm. When I have strength in the future, I will refine this secret realm into a treasure of the cave heaven. I believe the quality will not be inferior to the Qianquan pot, which is another considerable fortune. Treasures of the cave heaven are basically refined by Mahayana-level masters using space fragments similar to secret realms, and most of the cost is on space fragments, or when there is a shortage of resources one day, I can sell this secret realm to a Mahayana-level master. In this way, the value of this secret realm will be completely squeezed out. Without thinking any more, Changfeng activated the token, left the secret realm, and appeared in the secret room where the residual soul of Yu Fujianren was killed. Using the Great Sun Fist, he burned the body of Yu Fujianren to ashes with a fire, and casually put away the Taoist robe on the body that looked of high grade. At this point, the treasure hunt in the cemetery officially ended, and Changfeng was ready to return to the sect. This harvest was beyond his expectations. He originally only wanted to find the Moonlight Divine Grass to break through to the Grandmaster level, but he didn't expect that the two Mona Yu Fujianren also had a good secret realm. Although there were some twists and turns along the way, it was generally smooth. He took out the Jade Talisman obtained by defeating Liang Yun, activated it, returned to the inner area of the cemetery, and returned along the original route. After a while, he was out of the cemetery. Outside, Liang Yun and Gu Tianchun were waiting for him. Seeing Changfeng coming out, the two of them went to meet him. Chapter 72. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brotherly, how is the situation? Liang Yun asked. I'm lucky. I found enough Moonlight Divine Grass. Congratulations to Brotherly for achieving his wish. Liang Yun didn't ask Changfeng about his gains in the cemetery. The three returned to the Wang family's residence. Half a day has passed since the formation in the inner area of the cemetery dissipated. The news that many powerful people in the god-transforming stage were severely injured by a mysterious young monk has spread. Wang Mulong, the head of the Wang family, naturally knew that the two people next to Changfeng were also big men that he couldn't afford to offend, and he warmly welcomed the three. Arriving at the quiet courtyard where Changfeng temporarily lived, Liang Yun casually set up a soundproof formation, and the three sat and talked. Changfeng learned from the conversation that Gu Tianchun had the legendary domineering physique and was born to practice boxing. He and Liang Yun worshipped the same great master, and both were true disciples of the Nine Immortals sect. Liang Yun had been practicing for a long time. After Gu Tianchun became his disciple, Liang Yun often taught him. The two brothers had a deep relationship. Liang Yun came to the South region this time mainly to experience the local conditions and customs of the South region, to experience some experience, to further comprehend the fusion boxing meaning, and to prepare for the future comprehension of the world boxing meaning. The three of them were all geniuses in practicing boxing. They exchanged their understanding of boxing with each other and gained a lot. Liang Yun asked Qi Changfeng some questions about the fusion boxing meaning and the world boxing meaning, and Qi Changfeng also pointed them out one by one. However, he was not stupid enough to talk about the content related to the Hunyuan Kaitian Sutra, but just talked about his understanding. Even so, Liang Yun benefited a lot and felt that the fusion boxing meaning had made great progress. After a whole day, the three of them finished discussing the Tao and started to chat casually. Brotherly Dao, your Huangting sect has a profound foundation and many talented people. Junior brother Gu and I have been in the southern region for more than 2 years. 2 years ago, the peerless evildoer named Qi Changfeng in your sect was really famous. It is said that he had the strength of the peak of the land immortals in the innate realm. This kind of talent is really unheard of. He was also called the #1 prodigy in the southern region. I didn't expect that in addition to Qi Changfeng, I could also meet brotherly Dao, who comprehended the world's fist meaning in the spirit transformation stage. I haven't heard of brotherly Dao before. It seems that brother Dao is very low-key. I think brotherly Dao's talent is definitely not inferior to that Qi Changfeng. It is said that junior brother Qi Changfeng also practices fists. I wonder if you know him. Qi Changfeng was a little embarrassed and his face froze. It was really hard to be praised in front of the vest, but fortunately, the ancient mask covered it up and it was completely invisible. There is a slight intersection. Qi Changfeng said. After that, he quickly changed the topic and talked about other aspects. Liang Yun didn't care, just thinking that brotherly Dao and Qi Changfeng were not familiar with each other. He never dreamed that the brotherly Dao who sat in front of him, who had comprehended the world boxing and defeated him, was Qi Changfeng. After chatting for a while, Liang Yun stood up and said goodbye. Qi Changfeng didn't plan to stay any longer. Now he was eager to go home and just wanted to go back to Xia's Yufeng dojo to retreat and break through. The three of them said goodbye to Wang Mulong and left the Wang's residence. Before parting, Qi Changfeng and Liang Yun exchanged tokens and agreed to visit each other's sects when they had time. It's better not to come forever, otherwise I can't hide my identity. Thinking of the embarrassing scene when Liang Yun came to Huangting's sect to visit him and saw through his identity, Qi Changfeng couldn't help thinking. After parting, Liang Yun and Gu Tianchun did not take the teleportation array, but randomly found a direction and continued to practice. Qi Changfeng came to the small teleportation array of the Wang family, activated it, and returned to the Huangting sect's residence in the Yuanlong dynasty, where he met the outer sect steward Deng Guangxing. Congratulations to Lord Li for returning with a full load. I have also heard about Lord Li's great power in the Wang family. I really admire him. As soon as Deng Guangxing saw Qi Changfeng, he immediately flattered him with a big smile on his face. Okay, no need to say more, prepare to activate the teleportation array, I will go back to the Huangting sect. Qi Changfeng waved his hand and said, not daring to neglect. Deng Guangxing immediately went to prepare the teleportation array. At this time, another outer sect steward whose name was unknown stepped forward and said to Qi Changfeng carefully, Lord Li, there are 3 powerful people in the Yuanlong dynasty who want to see you. I wonder what you think. Qi Changfeng frowned slightly. People from the Yuanlong dynasty want to see him? After thinking about it, it was nothing more than flattery to curry favor with me. I didn't know when I would come to this place, so there was no need to waste time with them. I have urgent business to return to the sect, and I won't see anyone. The outer sect steward didn't dare to say more, responded, and left. It seems that he received benefits from the Yuanlong dynasty and worked for him. They introduced him to the monks. Qi Changfeng didn't care much about the twists and turns of the monks below. In this world where great power belongs to oneself, strength is the hard truth. After a while, Deng Guangxing came back. Masterly, the teleportation array is ready and we can set off at any time. Qi Changfeng nodded, and went to the teleportation array with Deng Guangxing, verified the true disciple token, stepped into the teleportation array, and disappeared. After an incense stick, Qi Changfeng appeared in the valley of the Huangting sect's teleportation point. Without staying for long, he flew directly to the main peak of Tianquan Peak. When he came to the main peak hall, he met Qin Feng. Qin Feng was also very happy to see Qi Changfeng return safely. How was the trip? Disciple has found enough Yuehua divine grass and can prepare to break through the cultivation. Changfeng said respectfully, and told Qin Feng roughly what happened in the tomb of Yu Fuzhenren. What? Your mental world was successfully constructed and can be brought to the world. Has your mental world reached the cave heaven realm? Qin Feng didn't care much about what Changfeng gained from this trip. As a Mahayana strongman, he didn't care about some good fortune spirit liquid and middle grade acquired spiritual roots. What shocked him was that Changfeng constructed a mental world so quickly and reached the cave heaven realm. My disciple's mental power is still in the desolate realm. Not long after I comprehended the world fist, I opened up a mental world. I don't know why, the mental world is quite large and very stable, and it can be brought to the world in the desolate realm. Qin Feng thought about it and was very puzzled. Chao Lao Dao of Tianjin Peak also comprehended the mental power of the Huangting Sutra. I have never heard that his mental world can be brought to the world in the desolate realm. In the end, Qin Feng attributed all this to the magic of the world fist, which fed back to Changfeng's mental world. No longer entangled, anyway, it is a good thing that the desolate realm has such a powerful mental world. He couldn't help but sigh again at the talent of this precious disciple. When Qin Feng was young, he was also a peerless genius, but compared with his disciple, he was far behind. Chapter 73. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Feng stopped worrying about Changfeng's mind world and said, Master Yu Fu. I seem to have heard of him. He is a well-known casual cultivator. I remember that he has been missing for nearly 10,000 years. I didn't expect that his remaining soul is still alive and finally died in your hands. You did a good job. You should be careful when you go out. However, even if his remaining soul starts to take over the body, you should not be afraid of him with the mind world protecting your sea of consciousness. I just don't know how his remaining soul can persist for so long. Changfeng, bring the token that the remaining soul is staying into me. Changfeng took out the token that controls the entrance to the secret realm and handed it to Qin Feng. After Qin Feng got it, he carefully sensed it, showed a look of understanding, and returned the token to Changfeng. Master has checked it, and there is no hidden danger in the token. This token is made of soul-nourishing jade. No wonder the residual soul of Yu Fuzhenren can sleep in it for 10,000 years without dissipating. Soul-nourishing jade is a very rare material, which is hard to find in the lower world. Keep it well, it may be useful in the future. Changfeng nodded. As for the two disciples of Xianwu sect, they should have come to the south region for training. Xianwu sect and my Huangting sect have always had a good relationship. When you enter the fusion period and understand the situation in the upper world, you will know why. Qin Feng said. The master and the disciple chatted for a while, and Changfeng stood up and said goodbye. Before leaving, he took some bitter tree tea leaves from the Qiankun pot and left them for Qin Feng to taste. Qin Feng did not refuse and accepted it. Compared to spiritual tea, master likes wine more. If you encounter any good wine in the future, don't forget to leave some for master. Qin Feng teased. Changfeng remembered it in his heart, left the main peak of Tianquan Peak, and returned to Xiaozhu Peak Dojo. It's time to break through to the Grandmaster realm. Arriving at the retreat room, Changfeng took out 6 sets of natural materials and treasures needed for the 4th level of Xiantian Holy Body. He operated the 4th level of Xiantian Holy Body, and started to refine it directly. Time passes in cultivation, and more than 3 months have passed in a blink of an eye. On this day, there was a lot of movement in the retreat room of Xiaozhu Peak Dojo. Changfeng successfully refined 6 sets of natural materials and treasures needed for the 4th level, and was on the verge of a breakthrough. He exuded a trace of golden light all over his body, and his blood was running rapidly according to the Xiantian Holy Body technique. The golden light around him became stronger and stronger, and suddenly his body made a loud noise, as if something was smashed. Changfeng's cultivation officially entered the Grandmaster realm, and as the technique was operated, his aura was constantly increasing. Grandmaster early stage, Grandmaster middle stage. It didn't stop until the peak of the Grandmaster. After a while of breathing and stabilizing the realm, Changfeng opened his eyes. Successful breakthrough. Fortunately I prepared 6 pieces of natural treasures, otherwise it would not be enough. After a careful feeling, Changfeng felt that his physical strength had improved a lot. reaching the level of a mid-grade spiritual treasure, formally practicing the martial arts of the Xiantian holy body level. The physical strength of the Grandmaster realm can reach the level of a low-grade magic weapon, the level of a high-grade magic weapon in the heaven realm, and the level of a low-grade spiritual treasure when practicing to the land immortal realm. Just like Liang Yun, in the land immortal realm, the physical body is comparable to a low-grade spiritual treasure. If the seventh level of the Xiantian holy body is successfully practiced, the cultivation reaches the great realm of the fusion period, and the physical strength is comparable to a low-grade Taoist weapon. Changfeng has many talents, and he consumed several times the natural treasures when practicing Xiantian holy body, so he can have a physical body comparable to a medium-grade spiritual treasure in the Grandmaster realm. There is no way. His strength, except for the world of mind and power, is almost all in the physical body of martial arts. Although the cultivation of immortals has been going hand in hand with martial arts, the spiritual power is not strong enough, and there are not many means. It is okay to bully noobs, but it is useless when you really meet an opponent of equal strength. This is also normal. People who mainly practice boxing almost all rely on their fists to travel the world, and mainly use the martial arts path to exert their own strength. This is the case for all disciples of Tianquan Peak. It is different for the Five Elements Peak next door. Although they also practice martial arts, they mainly use the powerful Five Elements magic skills, which is to exert their own strength with the immortal path. Although the threshold for practicing martial arts is very low, the physical strength of the physical body cultivated by martial arts techniques of different levels is very different. For those who practice ordinary martial arts in the outside world, blue level in system evaluation, they can reach the realm of immortals on land, and their physical strength can be comparable to that of low-grade magic weapons. For martial arts of a higher level, purple level, they can reach the realm of immortals on land, and their physical strength can be comparable to that of high-grade magic weapons. Moreover, immortals and martial arts have their own characteristics. Immortals take time, and martial arts take money. To improve immortal cultivation, you need to spend more time to comprehend the techniques and absorb spiritual energy. Qi. But you don't need too many resources. As long as you have enough understanding and spiritual energy, you can improve your immortal cultivation. As for martial arts, practicing martial arts techniques requires a lot of resources to strengthen the body. As long as you are willing to work hard to polish the body, and have enough natural treasures, martial arts cultivation can be quickly improved in a short period of time. Therefore, some small forces or casual cultivators in the outside world basically focus on practicing immortals, and then use their immortal cultivation to feed back martial arts. Martial arts techniques are usually chosen at the blue level. On the one hand, high-level techniques are hard to find, and on the other hand, the higher the level of martial arts techniques, the more and more precious the natural treasures consumed. Just like the natural treasures required for each level of Xiantian Xingdi, it is not something that a small sect or casual cultivator can collect. This is why Changfeng went to the cemetery of Yufu Zhenren this time and met most of the cultivators in the Huashan period who used immortal methods. Thinking of this, Changfeng felt more and more how important it was to join a super sect. After his martial arts cultivation successfully broke through to the Grandmaster level, Changfeng's mental strength bottleneck disappeared temporarily, and his mental strength could continue to improve in the simulation world. However, his immortal cultivation had not yet broken through to the golden core level, and the Sun True Fire Seed had not yet been fused. Changfeng decided to simulate a wave first, increase his mental strength to the limit, and then condense the golden core and fuse the Sun True Fire Seed. After all, the Sun True Fire Seed was too precious, and there was only one chance, so the chance of success should be increased as much as possible. Changfeng casually received the rewards for being a true disciple and the top of the Tongtian Tower for these 4 months. A total of 500,000 spirit stones and 500,000 exchange points. After he broke through to the Grandmaster level, he automatically came to the top of the Tongtian Tower Grandmaster list, with a monthly reward of 100,000 spirit stones and 100,000 exchange points, plus a monthly reward of 100,000 spirit stones and 100,000 exchange points for the Grandmaster level true disciple. Now he can have a basic income of 200,000 spirit stones and 200,000 exchange points per month, adding the 100,000 spirit stones and 100,000 exchange points per month in the previous 3 months. a total of 500,000 spirit stones and 500,000 exchange points. Looking at the Xianwu simulation system, there are still nearly 3 million simulation points. Changfeng couldn't help but want to conduct a red-level simulation. Chapter 74. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although the upper limit of the red simulation world is a bit too high for Changfeng at this stage, he still wants to open the 7th talent slot first, exchange for a red simulation. Ding, the host simulation points are insufficient and cannot be exchanged. Changfeng was stunned after receiving the system prompt. Isn't the simulation point consumed by the red simulation 10 times that of the pink one? At this time, a message came from the Xianwu simulation system, and Changfeng understood, according to the information from the system, since there are many powerful people with immortal level strength in the simulation world of red and above levels, the origin of the world is strong. The upper world of the prehistoric world where Changfeng is located is affiliated with the lower world, and the world level is only pink. The simulation points exchanged with items in this world are not enough to open the simulation of the red and above worlds. To perform red and above simulations, you need to use immortal level and above natural treasures or immortal stones to exchange for immortal level simulation points. Changfeng's mind moved, and he connected the Xianwu simulation system to scan the Sun True Fire seed in a sea of consciousness. Ding, 100 million fairy level simulation points can be exchanged. Do you want to exchange? He quickly chose no. There was only one Sun True Fire seed. If it was exchanged, it would be too late to cry. He glanced at Jin Yangzi's inheritance token again. Ding, 20 billion simulation points can be exchanged. Do you want to exchange? It seems that this inheritance token was made by Jin Yangzi's remnant on his way to the lower world. In order to conceal his tracks and avoid being discovered by the enemies, the material used did not reach the fairy level. It is only because it contains quasi-saint means that it is worth so many simulation points. Afterwards, Changfeng scanned all his assets. Except for the Sun True Fire seed and the 2 bottles of blood essence of the beasts in the upper world of the prehistoric world, there were no natural treasures above the fairy level. It seems that I am still quite poor. Changfeng couldn't help but sigh. However, he didn't care much about the fact that he couldn't perform red simulation for the time being. Therefore, he couldn't open the 7th talent slot. In other aspects, for Changfeng at this stage, there is no difference between the pink simulation world and the red simulation world. After all, the world upper limit of the pink simulation world is at least the Mahayana period, and even a few pink simulation worlds have immortal level power. For Changfeng, whose strength has not yet reached the fusion realm, it is definitely enough, and there is even a lot of waste. Unable to perform red simulation, Changfeng decided to first increase the strength of his mental power to the peak level of land immortals in the purple cultivation simulation world that he had locked before. Since the cultivation speed in the purple simulation world is much slower than that in the real world, Changfeng performed 3 simulations before increasing the strength of his mental power to the peak level of land immortals. The 6 levels of Deri Shattering Sky Fist have also been fully cultivated. In a short period of time, it is difficult for the strength of mental power to break through again. The fusion period is a big chasm on the road of cultivation, and it is also difficult to enter the fusion realm with mental strength. Changfeng felt that after the strength of mental power reached the peak level of land immortals, it would be extremely difficult to increase it. After estimating his own strength, Changfeng felt that he should be able to defeat Liang Yun easily now. However, he should not be a match for the powerful people in the fusion realm. Even the most useless powerful people in the fusion stage, after the integration of immortal and martial arts, can also reach the level of medium-grade spiritual treasures, in addition to the magical secrets that can only be practiced by the spiritual power of the fusion stage, and the mana formed by the fusion of blood and spiritual power in the body. Changfeng is not a match for the time being. Despite this, Changfeng still chose to go to the 61st floor of the Tongtian Tower to try. The result this time was much better than the last time, and he lasted for a whole incense stick before being defeated. This shows that Changfeng can already challenge ordinary cultivators in the early stage of fusion. Of course, if he faces those cultivators who have practiced top-level skills and promoted to fusion, he still can't hold out for 2 rounds. After all, the physical body of the strength of the lower Grade Taoist weapon is not something Changfeng can resist now. As for the mental world, theoretically, the mental strength of the peak level of the land immortals can already be considered to break through to the cave heaven realm. However, the cave heaven realm needs a treasure as the core of the mental world. After refining this treasure with mental power, it will be integrated into the mental world, making the mental world a stable and independent world. After that, the development of the mental world will depend on this treasure. Therefore, the choice of the core of the mental world must not be sloppy. Another point is that the more powerful the treasure, the higher the mental strength required when using mental power to refine and fuse. Now, Changfeng has not made any good plans, so he will not choose to rush to break through to the cave heaven realm. The mental strength has reached a bottleneck, and the great sun-shattering sky fist has been fully practiced. Changfeng is ready to gather the golden elixir and fuse the sun's true fire seed. The golden elixir realm is a very important level on the immortal path. Swallow a golden elixir into the stomach, and my life is in my own hands. After entering the golden elixir realm, many mysterious means of the immortal path began to be initially revealed. There are also 3, 6, and 9 grades of golden elixir. When condensing the golden elixir, the grade is distinguished by the number of golden elixir holes. 1, 2, and 3 holes are low grade, 4, 5, and 6 holes are medium grade, and 7, 8, and 9 holes are high grade. 9-hole golden elixir is the best among golden elixir. The more golden elixir holes there are, the greater the potential, and the further it can go in the future. It is said that golden elixir with less than 7 holes has almost no hope of breaking through to the fusion realm. To practice the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra, and break through to the golden elixir stage, there must be a 9-hole golden elixir. This is the perversion of the top-level skills of the super-large sect. Without the 9th grade golden elixir, how can one cultivate to the ascension realm? Changfeng closed his eyes and comprehended the Sun True Fire Seed fusion method taught by Jin Yangzi in his Sea of Consciousness. This method is very mysterious. When breaking through to the golden core realm, the power of the golden core condensation is used to wrap the Sun True Fire Seed, so that it forms a connection with the golden core. In the future years of cultivation, whether it is breaking the Dan into an infant, cultivating the Yuanshan, or breaking through to the great power by combining the immortal and the martial arts, the Sun True Fire Seed will continue to fuse with itself until the day it disappears completely. It can be said that the golden core stage is just the beginning of fusing the Sun True Fire Seed. When the day of complete fusion is complete, Changfeng is qualified to master the great supernatural power of the Sun True Fire. It is not difficult to comprehend the method. After only 2 days, Changfeng successfully mastered it. After all, it is not this method that is precious, but the Sun True Fire Seed, mobilizing the Sea of Consciousness, controlling the Sun True Fire Seed to slowly come to the Dantian. Changfeng circulated the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra, to prepare to condense the golden core. Chapter 75. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After comprehending the true meaning of the Hunyuan Kaitian Sutra, Changfeng's understanding of the Tao of all things in the world has reached a very deep level. The 3rd level of the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra is no longer difficult for him. Entering the golden elixir realm can be said to be a natural outcome. Activating the technique, the spiritual energy of Changfeng's body quickly gathered to the Dantian, forming a golden light ball, wrapping the Sun True Fire Seed. Due to the same origin, the Sun True Fire Seed has no resistance to the spiritual power cultivated by the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra. Without continuing to condense the golden elixir, Changfeng ran the Sun True Fire Seed fusion method taught by Jin Yangzi. 9 tentacles formed inside the golden light ball and probed into the Sun True Fire Seed. In an instant, Changfeng felt a violent burning sensation coming from the Dantian. As the connection deepened, the burning sensation became more and more intense. Gradually, the burning sensation spread throughout the body. Changfeng's skin was burned red, and the surrounding spiritual energy was distorted due to the high temperature, but he didn't care. This was a normal phenomenon when fusing the Sun True Fire Seed. As the most powerful flame in the Sun Star of the prehistoric upper world and the strongest innate magical power of the Xianwu clan, it would be abnormal if there was no reaction during the fusion. After a full hour, the 9 tentacles were completely immersed in the Sun True Fire Seed, and Changfeng felt that he had established a slight connection with the Sun True Fire Seed. In his perception, there seemed to be a big sun in his dantian, emitting endless heat and light. In an instant, his sea of consciousness was subjected to a severe mental shock, and he felt like he was facing the sun star directly, with endless heat raging in his sea of consciousness. Fortunately, there was a mental world guarding, which greatly weakened the mental shock. Otherwise, Changfeng felt that he might lose consciousness in an instant. After 2 incense sticks of time, the mental shock from the Sun True Fire Seed ended. Changfeng guarded his sea of consciousness and did not lose consciousness, which was considered to be the first small difficulty in fusing the Sun True Fire Seed. The real test is still to come. After calming down and successfully establishing a connection with the Sun True Fire Seed, Changfeng continued to practice the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra, and the golden light ball in his dantian began to spin. With each turn, the light ball shrank a little imperceptibly to the naked eye. As the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra continued to run, the light ball continued to condense, and Changfeng felt that the pressure on his body was getting greater and greater. About half a day later, a golden elixir gradually took shape. The golden elixir had 9 orifices, and it looked ingenious. At this time, the pressure on Changfeng's body had gradually exceeded the limit. His whole body was covered with cracks like broken porcelain, and golden blood kept oozing out of the cracks. Fortunately, Changfeng had the talent of an indestructible body, and his recovery ability was greatly improved. Otherwise his body would have collapsed in the process of condensing the golden elixir. The Sun True Fire Seed was too high in grade, and even with Changfeng's middle-grade spiritual treasure-level physical strength, it was difficult for his body to bear it. During the initial fusion, drops of creation spiritual liquid flew out of the Qiankuan pot and sank into Changfeng's body, helping him to quickly recover from physical injuries. As Changfeng's golden elixir gradually took shape, thick dark clouds enveloped the sky above Huangting's sect. Lightning and thunder flashed in the dark clouds, and purple thunders were brewing in them. What happened? The great powers of Huangting's sect were a little confused. Why did they attract heavenly punishment for no reason? Heavenly punishment is different from heavenly tribulation. Heavenly tribulation is the tribulation experienced by the great powers in the tribulation crossing stage when they break through to the Mahayana stage. If you successfully cross the tribulation, you can become a great master in the Mahayana stage and enjoy freedom. You can choose to ascend to the prehistoric upper realm at any time within 100,000 years and achieve the body of a true immortal. Heavenly punishment is the world consciousness of this world. It perceives the birth of something that exceeds the upper limit of the world and imposes a punishment of destruction. The heavenly punishment of Xianwu realm will only target people or things that have just been born in this world and go against the will of heaven. For items that exceed the upper limit passed down from the prehistoric upper realm, they will not attract heavenly punishment. The same person or thing will only be punished once by the Xianwu realm. If you get through it successfully, you will never be targeted by the world consciousness of this world again, and you will be recognized by the world. Even the birth and recognition of super-level things will enhance the foundation of this world, so they will be favored by the world consciousness and more likely to get opportunities. Many great men of the Huangting sect have come out of retreat, and there have been unusual movements in the holy places where the great elders are. Changfeng, who was in retreat to condense the golden elixir, felt that he was locked by a force. However, this feeling of being locked disappeared in an instant. Changfeng immediately knew that his talent of concealing the secrets of heaven was triggered. Concealing the secrets of heaven, purple. When you are locked by the secret calculation or special means, the result obtained by the other party is very vague. Although I don't know why, Changfeng feels that he has escaped a death calamity, because when he was locked by that power at the moment of locking, he felt that a disaster was imminent. Could it be that because of the fusion of the Sun True Fire Seed, Senior Jin Yangzi's enemies in the prehistoric upper world noticed it? Changfeng was uneasy. If so, it would be a big deal. He was very glad that he chose to conceal the secrets of heaven between the two talents of Master of Alchemy and concealing the secrets of heaven. Although it was unclear what force locked him, as long as he did not die on the spot, there would be room for maneuver in the future. On the way to break through, there is no room for interruption. Changfeng no longer thought about it and continued to concentrate on condensing the golden elixir. Changfeng felt right, and the talent of concealing the secrets of heaven did save his life. After the world consciousness of Xianwu realm felt that the golden elixir fused with the Sun True Fire Seed was about to come out, it immediately locked Changfeng and prepared to send down the punishment from heaven. however, due to the influence of the talent of concealing the secrets of heaven. The lock on Changfeng became blurred. As a last resort, the heavenly punishment changed the target of destruction from Changfeng to the entire Huangting sect. That's why the heavenly punishment cloud enveloped the entire Huangting sect. With the strength of the heavenly punishment of the Xianwu realm, even a strong cultivator in the Mahayana stage would be dead if facing it alone, not to mention Changfeng at this stage. He was turned into ashes by a heavenly punishment thunder tribulation. My Huangting sect hasn't done anything out of the ordinary recently. Why did it attract heavenly punishment against the entire sect? Many top masters of the Huangting sect were puzzled, but they were not very worried. Two figures appeared out of thin air above the Huangting sect's main hall. They were the current leader of the Huangting sect, Wu Chenzi, and the great elder Hu Fengtian. Master, do you know why this happened? Great elder Hu asked. Wu Chenzi shook his head, indicating that he didn't know either. Since the founding of Huangting sect, we have seen heavenly punishment, but those were all directed at some rebellious cultivators or treasures. I have never seen one that covered the entire sect. We in Huangting sect haven't done anything harmful to the heavens recently. I really don't know why the world will is crazy. Wu Chenzi said. At this time, Wu Chenzi received a message from the supreme elders of the Holy Land, asking if he needed help. Wu Chenzi politely refused and replied that he would trouble the supreme elders to help when he was unable to do so. Chapter 76. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Master, it looks like the punishment from heaven is about to fall. Great elder Hu Fengtian said as he looked at the cloud of punishment from heaven that was getting heavier and heavier over the Huangting sect. At this time, many disciples in the Huangting sect also sensed the cloud of punishment from heaven and came out to watch. Qin Feng, the master of Tianquan Peak, also came to the air above the main peak and stared at the cloud of punishment from heaven. Although the punishment from heaven was aimed at the entire Huangting sect, his sixth sense as a Mahayana strongman told him that the punishment from heaven might be related to his evil disciple. Qin Feng cheered up, prepared all his best tactics, and came to the outside of Shaozhu Peak Dojo. He knew that Changfeng was in retreat and could not tolerate the punishment from heaven, so he prepared to protect the sect. Although it was highly unlikely to be used, it was necessary to be prepared for the worst. In Qin Feng's opinion, the punishment from the Xianwu realm was almost impossible to affect the inside of the Huangting sect. The treasures of the Huangting sect that were passed down from the prehistoric upper realm and above were not for show. At this time, the communication platform of the sect protection formation was also in an uproar. Many disciples did not know what the heavenly punishment was, and they asked one after another. Some knowledgeable people answered the questions below the post. After knowing what the heavenly punishment was, many low-level disciples were a little frightened, but their minds were also quite firm, and no disciples were ready to flee the Huangting sect. At this time, the voice of Wu Chenzi, the leader of the Huangting sect, rang in the ears of everyone in the sect. Everyone, stay calm and stay in your own peak. There will be no danger. At this time, Changfeng's golden elixir was also at the last moment of condensation. His injuries were more serious, and golden blood was sprayed everywhere. Even with the blessing of the indestructible body talent and the repair of the creation spirit liquid, Changfeng's body was still on the verge of collapse. As the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra completed the last cycle, the 9 apertures golden elixir was completely condensed, and the technique also broke through to the 3rd level. At the moment when the golden elixir was formed, the Sun True Fire seed at the center of the 9 orifice golden elixir produced a strong abnormal movement. And a stream of red energy was transmitted from the seed. The 9 orifice golden elixir trembled uncontrollably, and the red energy continued to merge with the golden elixir. Changfeng felt that the power of the golden elixir was growing rapidly, and soon it exceeded the scope of the 9 orifice golden elixir. The Sun True Fire seed no longer put pressure on the body, and the spiritual fluid of creation was quickly repairing his body. In an incense stick of time, the red energy transmitted by the Sun True Fire seed completely merged with the golden elixir, and the golden elixir stopped trembling. The appearance of the original 9 orifice golden elixir has changed dramatically. Not only has it become a whole circle larger, but the 9 orifices on it have completely disappeared. Instead, there are mysterious patterns of gold and red. Looking at his own golden elixir, Changfeng was slightly stunned. How did it become a golden elixir without orifices? At the moment when Changfeng's Wuqiao Jindan was completed, the cloud of heavenly punishment above Huangting's sect moved, a purple thunderbolt fiercely struck Huangting's sect's protective formation. How dare a mere heavenly punishment run wild in Huangting's sect? Seeing this, Wuchenzi took action. A 9-story tower instantly appeared in the air, intercepting the thunder of heavenly punishment. It's the Star Tower. The many disciples watching in Huangting's sect immediately recognized it. The Star Tower, the most precious treasure of Huangting's sect, was passed down from the upper realm of prehistoric times. Even in the upper realm, the Star Tower is a rare treasure. The Star Tower is controlled by the successive masters of Huangting's sect and is the most precious treasure of Huangting's sect. To suppress its luck, the thunder of heavenly punishment struck the Star Tower, and the tower body did not move at all. Wu Qinzi snorted coldly, and with a pinch of the magic formula, the Star Tower instantly became 1,000,000,000 times larger. And the towering 9-story tower was directly inserted into the cloud of heavenly punishment. Collect it for me. The Star Tower suddenly exuded an infinite force of attraction and suppression, and in a breath, all the clouds of heavenly punishment were collected into the tower. The sky covered with dark clouds suddenly became clear. If it weren't for the towering 9-story tower standing between heaven and earth, everyone would have thought that the heavenly punishment just now was just an illusion. Is it over? Is this the heavenly punishment? The disciples watching the battle were a little confused. There was no way. The sect treasure of the Star Tower had far exceeded the world-level limit of the Xianwu realm, and the power of heavenly punishment was not enough in front of it. To put it bluntly, even if the Xianwu realm was destroyed, as long as they hid in the Star Tower, the disciples of the Huangting sect would not be hurt at all. The other super sects in Xianwu continent also have treasures similar to the Star Tower, which is the basis for them to stand firm in Xianwu continent for countless years. There are few endless wars between super sects, and this is the reason. Everyone has superpowers. Changfeng felt something the moment the Star Tower appeared, and immediately left the Xiaoxufeng dojo, just saw the scene of the Star Tower suppressing and absorbing the cloud of heavenly punishment, and was shock-stunned. After the cloud of heavenly punishment disappeared, he felt a sense of relief, as if he had been recognized by the world. When the sect leader Wuchenzi called out, Changfeng was fully devoted to condensing the golden elixir and did not hear it. After recovering from the shock, Changfeng was about to return to Xiaoxufeng dojo to check the communication platform and find out what happened, when he suddenly found a figure in the air above Xiaoxufeng. It was Qin Feng. Changfeng stepped forward to greet him. Qin Feng was relieved to see that he was fine and his cultivation had successfully broken through. Qin Feng told Changfeng about what had just happened about the heavenly punishment and explained to him in detail what the heavenly punishment was. Changfeng remained calm on the surface, but his heart was already surging. My fusion of the Sun True Fire Seed actually brought heavenly punishment. Why didn't Senior Jin Yangzi tell me at that time? Fortunately, I have the talent to conceal the secrets of heaven. Otherwise, even if I didn't die this time, the secret of the Sun True Fire Seed would be exposed to the sect. Fortunately, the Huangting sect is strong enough, otherwise I would have implicated the entire sect this time. Changfeng was full of thoughts in his mind. He hurriedly said goodbye to Qin Feng on the pretext of consolidating his cultivation and returned to the retreat room of the Xiaoxufeng dojo. Watching Changfeng enter the dojo, Qin Feng's eyes flashed with a trace of thought. Is it my evil disciple who brought down the punishment from the heaven? It doesn't look like it. How could a breakthrough to the Grand Master and Golden Core realms cause the punishment from the heaven? And this punishment from the heaven is aimed at the entire Huangting sect. My disciple should not have the means to divert the punishment from the heaven. It is also possible that the group of old immortals in the Holy Land cultivated something that defied the heavens, causing the entire Huangting sect to be targeted by the punishment from the heaven. While thinking, Qin Feng turned around and returned to the main peak of Tianquan Peak. Who cares? The sky won't fall. Chapter 77. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Changfeng returned to the retreat room in the Xiaoxufeng dojo, sat cross-legged, and recalled everything that happened when he just condensed the golden elixir, and broke out in a cold sweat. If it weren't for the 2 talents of concealing the secrets of heaven and fortune, his cultivation journey would have ended here. He decided to conduct continuous simulations after his cultivation was stable. On the one hand, he wanted to see if he could further improve the strength of his mental power and reached the initial stage of the fusion period. On the other hand, he brushed out some new talents and updated the talents in his talent slot to the pink level. After the purple level, the effect of the talent is greatly improved with each level increase. Changfeng felt that if his concealing the secrets of heaven talent reached the pink level, this time the heavenly punishment might not come. Connecting to the communication platform of the guarding sect array, Changfeng browsed the posts. The communication platform was being flooded with the recent heavenly punishment incident, and many disciples were discussing it enthusiastically. Some were speculating on the reason for the heavenly punishment, and some were amazed at the power of the Star Tower. There is a popular post that has been pinned to the top. For unknown reasons, the heavenly punishment suddenly descended upon the Huangting sect. The Star Tower showed its might and easily suppressed it. Attached with full video, Changfeng entered this post and saw the entire process from the heavenly punishment cloud appearing above the Huangting sect to being absorbed and suppressed by the Star Tower. He calculated the time in his mind. The heavenly punishment cloud should have appeared when he used the fusion method passed down by Jin Yangzi to connect the golden pill to the sun's true fire seed. It was at that moment that Changfeng felt like he was being locked in. Suddenly, the popularity of a post increased rapidly and climbed to the top. The heavenly punishment suddenly appeared. The Huangting sect turned out to be a blessing in disguise. A poster named, "Be sure to call me when you drink," said in this post, "The coming of the heavenly punishment is a disaster, but because the Huangting sect is powerful and easily survived the heavenly punishment, it has been recognized by the world's will in disguise, and the overall luck of the sect has been improved. As the saying goes, misfortune brings blessing, and blessing brings misfortune. Huangting sect has turned a disaster into a blessing this time, and the future cultivation path of its disciples will be smoother. Because this is the first time in the history of Xianwu continent that the heavenly punishment has targeted the entire sect, and I haven't heard that Huangting sect has done anything extraordinary recently." So the poster boldly speculated that this heavenly punishment was deliberately brought about by the Huangting sect senior leaders using unknown means, with the purpose of surviving the heavenly punishment, increasing the sect's luck, and fleecing the world's will. There are thousands of comments below. Some agree with the poster's point of view, and some think that the poster's speculation is bullshit. How can the heavenly punishment be brought about by human means? It must be that something against the will of heaven has been born in the sect, but everyone agrees with the improvement of the sect's luck. After reading this post, Changfeng twitched his lips and thought to himself, I don't know who is talking nonsense here, but this post has relieved me of a lot of pressure. At least it can dispel some people's concerns about whether there is something against the will of heaven in the sect. After browsing the communication platform for a while, Changfeng got all the information about the heavenly punishment incident that just happened. After thinking for a moment, he secretly breathed a sigh of relief. It seems that I have escaped this time. Fortunately, Huangting sect is strong and has the means to deal with the heavenly punishment, otherwise I would become the sinner of the sect. Thinking about it now, Changfeng is still a little scared. The novel was taken from the Rawla's website. Close where you're reading it and support us on our website for more free novels. After practicing in Huangting sect for several years, he has developed a deep affection for the sect. In Huangting sect, there are teachers who love him, fellow disciples who communicate and progress together, and he is also his most powerful backer in Xianwu continent. It can be said that Huangting sect is his home. If Huangting sect is destroyed by heavenly punishment because of him, Changfeng will find it difficult to forgive himself. On the road of cultivation in the future, you must think twice before acting and make full preparations. Changfeng understood the meaning of this sentence more deeply. After exiting the communication platform, Changfeng sat cross-legged in the retreat room. Fortunately, the fusion of the sun true fire seed did not attract the attention of the great powers in the prehistoric upper realm, otherwise it would be difficult to escape. But if it would attract the great powers in the upper realm, Senior Jin Yangzi would not have given me the sun true fire seed. Changfeng no longer thought about it, closed his eyes and turned the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra to stabilize his cultivation. Just now, the incident happened suddenly. After he broke through to the golden core stage, he had no time to observe himself and stabilize the skyrocketing power. Now that everything is done, it is time to continue retreat cultivation. After practicing the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra for 3 days, Changfeng's newly condensed Wuqiao Jindan was completely stabilized. Feeling his own spiritual power, he was very satisfied. The third level of the Great Sun-Burning Heaven Sutra condenses into a 9-orifice golden elixir. Generally speaking, the quality and quantity of the spiritual power in the body are comparable to ordinary Yuanying period cultivator. After initially fusing the Sun True Fire seed and cultivating the Wuqiao Jindan, Changfeng felt that his spiritual power, both in terms of strength and quantity, was no less than that of a peak powerhouse in the God transformation period. From now on, he would be able to use any high-grade spiritual treasure for a long time, instead of just using an inner armor-type spiritual treasure. The Sun True Fire seed was indeed a treasure of the prehistoric upper realm. Just the initial fusion had greatly increased Changfeng's power of immortality. Not only that, Changfeng's spiritual power also contained a huge amount of the power of the sun. Because of the blessing of the Sun True Fire seed, his spiritual power had greatly increased. If he used immortal means without the protection of the treasure, even a peak powerhouse in the God transformation period would be burned to ashes in an instant. It was really not easy. Changfeng was in tears. His immortal and martial arts power were finally close, taking out his harvests from the Qinkuan pot over the past few years. Changfeng prepared to refine some high-grade spiritual treasures for protection. The first one is the inner armor of the upper-grade spiritual treasure level. This inner armor is exactly the one that Wanhua Medicine Valley rewarded after the sect competition. Changfeng had not refined it before because of insufficient mental strength. It took about an incense stick of time to successfully refine this inner armor. From the refining, we know that this treasure armor is called Qilong armor, which is made of the scales and skin of an adult Qilong. It is also one of the best among the upper-grade spiritual treasures, and its defense is not far from the lower-grade Taoist weapon. Changfeng is very satisfied. Wanhua Medicine Valley is quite generous to him. It seems that they want to make a good relationship. With the Qilong armor protecting his body, he feels that his body should be comparable to the upper-grade spiritual treasure in battle. However, the improvement of the inner armor-type spiritual treasure to the body is only external, and his body strength is still at the level of the middle-grade spiritual treasure. There is no benefit to the fusion of the Sun True Fire seed, and there may even be some negative effects. This is why Changfeng did not refine the Qilong armor before condensing the golden elixir. After refining the Qilong armor, Changfeng's eyes fell on the other 6 top-grade spiritual treasures. 5 of these 6 top-grade spiritual treasures were found in the tomb of Yu Fuzhenren, including the Taoist robe stripped from the corpse. Another one was found in the storage magic treasures of more than 10 powerful people in the God transformation stage who were suppressed by the world of mind. Power. Changfeng refined them one by one and was very satisfied with several of them. Chapter 78. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Among them, there is a boat-shaped top-grade spiritual treasure, named Duntian Boat, which is a flying boat-type spiritual treasure found in the secret realm of Yu Fuzhenren. This boat flies at a very fast speed and can perform short-distance space transfer. When encountering a formation that does not reach the high-level level, it can directly penetrate through it without being discovered by the formation. The Duntian boat can be as small as Jiezi or as long as 1,000 meters. It contains space inside, which is a good treasure for traveling, chasing enemies and escaping. There is also a shoe-shaped top-grade spiritual treasure, named Takong Lian Boots, which is as big as you want and can be worn on the feet. After the spiritual power activates the Takong Lian Boots, the movement speed increases greatly, and the flexibility is also significantly improved. It is a weapon for fighting. The other 4 top-grade spiritual treasures, except for the Taoist robe, are 2 long swords and a long spear. For Changfeng, who specializes in boxing, it is really useless. As for the Taoist robe stripped from the corpse of Yu Fuzhenren, it has many functions. With the help of spiritual power, it can form a layer of air shield to deflect some long-range attacks from the enemy. It is impervious to water and fire, dust-free, and can change styles at will. However, these functions are useless to Changfeng, and Changfeng dislikes that it was stripped from a corpse, which is unlucky, so he is not going to use it. When I need it in the future, I can sell these 4 top-grade spiritual treasures or exchange them for simulation points. Changfeng thought. Previously, in the locked purple immortal cultivation simulation world, Changfeng spent a long time in simulation. In this simulation world, he comprehended the fusion of fist meaning and Hunyuan Kai Tian Jing, and later improved his mental strength and practiced shattering sky fist. Tens of thousands of years have made him familiar with all kinds of immortal Taoist magic in this immortal cultivation world. It's just that his immortal cultivation was low before, and his spiritual power was insufficient, so he didn't have much power when he used it. Now, the quality and quantity of spiritual power have been improved, and the magic skills learned in the simulation world have also come into play. The immortal cultivation has broken through to the golden core stage, and the initial fusion of the Sun True Fire seed has made Changfeng's immortal strength soar, but the improvement in overall strength is not particularly large. His strongest means is still the world fist meaning attached to the heart world. The newly refined several high-quality spiritual treasures and immortal means can only be said to be icing on the cake for his combat power. Today's Changfeng should not be the opponent of the most ordinary fusion stage power. Sure enough, after consuming 100 spiritual stones to challenge the 61st floor of the Tongtian Tower, he still failed. However, this time, both immortal and martial means were used, and spiritual treasures were used. It took 3 incense sticks of time before he was defeated, and he also successfully injured the opponent on the 61st floor. It seems that he is not far from successfully passing the 61st level. At present, Changfeng's immortal cultivation has just broken through and reached the early stage of Jindan. He is very clear about the direction of his cultivation in the future: carry out continuous simulations, find opportunities to break through mental power in the simulated world, and upgrade talents to pink and above levels. Practice in seclusion to improve immortal cultivation to the peak of Jindan. According to previous practice, Changfeng will first improve his cultivation to the peak of this realm, and then simulate and brush talents. However, the heavenly punishment incident that just happened made him feel that the talents provided by the system are more important, and it is urgent to improve the talent level, so Changfeng decided to carry out a wave of continuous pink simulations. Before the simulation, Changfeng connected to the immortal martial arts simulation system and clicked on his panel light curtain. Name: Changfeng. Race: human, innate body, age, 19 years old, realm, peak of martial arts grandmaster, early stage of immortal Jindan. Skills: Shantian holy body, pink, 4th level, Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra, pink, 3rd level, Huangting Sutra, orange, opening up the mental world, Hunyuan Kai Tian Sutra, orange, understanding some of the true meaning. Magical skills: 8 gates Duanjia, purple, great success, Great Sun Shattering Sky Fist. Purple, 6th level, Immortal Tao. Magical skills: purple, great success, Desolate Realm Mental World, purple, great success, True Spirit Shantian Change, orange, untrained, mental power, peak of Land Immortals, World Fist Meaning, mental power, Desolate Realm, simulation points, 292,0990 points. Number of simulations: none. Talents: Supreme Fist, pink, unparalleled combat power, purple, Vajra Indestructible Body, purple, luck added, purple, enlightened, purple, concealing the secrets of heaven, purple, talent slots: 6, full, evaluation, hurry up, work harder. The handsome guy who defeated the fusion period in the Grand Master realm is you. Note: outdated abilities will no longer be listed. Looking at the 5 purple talents on his panel, Changfeng made up his mind that it's time to upgrade. With a thought, the simulation began. Ding. Consume 100,000 simulation points to exchange for pink simulation times x1. Simulation begins. Simulation world search begins. Target random pink simulation world. Simulation is about to begin. World introduction: this is an extraordinary and mysterious world. In this world, all kinds of strange and mysterious powers emerge in an endless stream. Gaining power is a dangerous thing. If you are not careful, you will become a deformed monster. In the world, there are dozens of different professions, such as fortune tellers, apprentices, sailors, pharmacists, assassins, hunters, criminals. Each profession has a different way to advance. From sequence 9 to sequence 0, different professions have different paths. The same goal is to become a true god. In the world, there are also many items with strange powers. If used improperly, it is easy to make people fall into distortion and madness. It is said that the power of the entire world was split after the original creator created the world. The original creator is a collection of all the contradictions in the entire world, and naturally has an uncontrollable tendency to split. Once split, it will have a strong tendency to aggregate. Against this background, many strong people collect the power split by the creator in order to advance to a higher sequence, and epic dramas are staged all over the world. After reading the world introduction, Changfeng was slightly disappointed. I have never heard of this type of world, and it seems to be very different from my own power system. He thought to himself, start talent selection. Please select 6 from the reserved talents and the following talents and bring them into the simulation world. Wives and concubines. Blue, you have a strong peach blossom luck and are destined to have wives and concubines. Magic genius. Purple, when practicing magic, your practice speed increases by 100%. When performing a spell, the power increases greatly. Turning stone into gold. Green, you can consume your lifespan to turn a stubborn stone into gold. Natural Tao seed. Pink, you have a very high level of comprehension and can comprehend the truth of heaven and earth from everything. The speed of practicing and comprehending the skills is greatly improved. Finger technique genius. Blue, you have a high talent for finger technique practice, and the power increases when performing finger techniques. Changfeng's eyes lit up when he saw the new talent. Chapter 79. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lucky, the talent I wanted appeared right at the beginning. Changfeng was very surprised. The natural talent, pink, should be an upgraded version of the talent of the enlightened, purple, according to the introduction. It can further improve the understanding and the speed of understanding the skills. Without any hesitation, Changfeng chose to use the natural talent, pink, to replace the talent of the enlightened, purple, and added the other 5 talents in the talent slot to enter the simulation world. Simulation starts. 0 years old. You were born in the capital of the Solomon Empire as a boy. At this time, the ancient sun god has fallen, and the era of the gods has just begun for more than 100 years. 6 years old, you start to practice boxing, and find that the rules of this world are very strange, and boxing practice is very difficult. 16 years old, you are officially an adult, and the strength of your mental strength has also recovered to the peak of the land immortal. 20 years old, the power of the mental world and the world boxing intention has been fully restored. During this period, you also learned about the promotion path of this world, and found that the strong people in this world promoted to a higher path by containing magic potions and holding corresponding rituals. You sneered at this dangerous and crazy method. In those promotion potions, you sensed the power that originated from the same rules of this world, which must have come from the original creator. In the years in the capital of the Solomon Empire, you learned from various channels that this world is now ruled by various sequence 0 true gods. Among them, King Solomon of the Solomon Empire is a sequence 0 true god of the lawyer career path, the Black Emperor. You have seen this Black Emperor from a distance and explored him with the mind world. Due to the special nature of the mind world, the Black Emperor did not find you. Your exploration did not produce any results, and you could not see the depth of the sequence 0 true god at all. 22 years old, you discovered a fearful bishop who came to the capital of the Solomon Empire to carry out some conspiracy. He is a sequence 3 demigod. Realizing that the actions of the fear bishop might endanger the safety of your family, you took direct action and suppressed him with the world of mind power. The sequence 3 demigod was powerless in front of you, and you learned a lot of secret information about this world from him. The power system of this world is completely incompatible with the real world, and the abilities of different paths are also very different. However, the whole world is more mysterious and full of pollution and plunder. To be promoted to a sequence 0 true god, you must prepare 3 sequence 1 potions of the same path, obtain the unique items of the path, and hold a godhood ceremony to have a chance of success. You killed the fear bishop casually, and you are very confused about the current situation of this world. This world is completely unsuitable for you, and you continue to concentrate on practicing boxing and mental power. The mysterious disappearance of the fear bishop made the dark goddess church, to which he belonged, furious. The church leaders used some special seals to predict you, but the results were very vague. So the news that a sequence 2 or even sequence 1 angel-level strongman lived in seclusion in the capital of the Solomon Empire gradually spread. 23 years old, you sensed that the capital of the empire was surging with undercurrents, so you said goodbye to your parents and quietly left the capital to travel. 25 years old, during your travels, you met a man with a monocle in his right eye, and he became very interested in you. This man is the Angel King of the Thief Pathway Sequence 1. He wants to use his parasitic ability on you and take away everything from you. However, you are protected by the world of mind power, so his ability is ineffective against you. After you noticed it, you took decisive action, beat him up with a punch, and then killed him easily. However, you found that this Angel King was extremely difficult to kill. Every time you killed him, he would appear beside you in a different appearance, which was very annoying. The only thing that remained unchanged was the monocle in his right eye. You are helpless about this fly and can only return to the capital of the Solomon Empire. The Angel King dare not appear in the territory of a sequence 0 true god. 30 years old, you have enjoyed a few years of quiet life. 31 years old, the 6 gods joined forces to launch a divine war against the Solomon Empire. The Black Emperor Solomon joined forces with another true god to fight, but unfortunately they were outnumbered and fell in this battle. You are tired of this world. Due to the suppression of the mysterious rules, your mental strength and boxing skills are improving very slowly. In this divine war, you also attacked brazenly and eventually fell into the hands of the Lord of Storms. You died, and the simulation ended. After choosing to retain the natural Tao seed, pink, talent and replace the enlightened one, purple, talent, Changfeng exited the simulation. Although there was no improvement in the simulation world, I got a satisfactory talent, so I definitely made money in this pink simulation. In the last battle of gods in the simulation world, Changfeng faced the power of the true god, in his opinion. Even the sequence 0 true god level strongmen used various mysterious and strange rule powers, which obviously came from some higher level life forms. Shaking his head, he felt that the practice system of that world was unhealthy, and practitioners would be backfired by the powers sooner or later. Moreover, once the rules were invalid or restrained, with the physical strength of those true gods, a random strongman in the tribulation period in the main world could sweep the whole scene. According to Changfeng's estimation, this world should not be too strong in the pink world. The original creator's strength should not reach the level of flying upgrade. Changfeng did not intend to lock this world. When I become stronger, if I randomly come to this pink world again, I will definitely crush that annoying Angel King who is as annoying as a fly to ashes. Changfeng thought of the man wearing monocular glasses and was so angry that his teeth itched. Without thinking too much, Changfeng carefully comprehended the new talent he had just acquired. Calming down, he felt that everything around him seemed to exude a unique Taoism. He tried to run the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra, and felt that the speed of practicing the skills had also increased. He was very satisfied and prepared to continue the pink simulation in one go. In the next 3 pink simulation worlds, Changfeng's luck was not very good. Not only did he not encounter a suitable new talent, but the simulation worlds he entered were also inconsistent with his own power system. The strength of mental power increased very slowly. Although it was slowly increasing, it was still far from the goal of the initial stage of fusion. Changfeng was not discouraged. There were still many simulation points and he would always encounter a suitable simulation world. Continue. Ding, consume 100,000 simulation points, exchange for pink simulation times x1. Simulation begins, simulation world search begins, target random pink simulation world. Simulation is about to begin. World introduction. This is a big world of immortal cultivation, with thousands of races and various worlds coexisting. The human race is just a small race in this big world. Qi refining, foundation building, Dan formation, Yuanying, Huashan, Lianshu, fusion, Mahayana are the levels of cultivation in this world. After the cultivator reaches the Mahayana stage, he can overcome the catastrophe of ascension and enter the more vast immortal world. Chapter 80. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The immortal realm is another, more expansive world, with world levels above red. This simulation is only conducted in this world. In this world, the lifespan of the nascent soul realm is 1,000 years, and the lifespan of the spiritualization realm is 2,000 years. Above the nascent soul realm, below the refining void realm, a small heavenly tribulation needs to be overcome every 300 years. In the refining void realm, theoretically, you can have an infinite lifespan, but you need to overcome a large heavenly tribulation every 3,000 years. Only those who have overcome it can continue to live freely and forever. The power of the large heavenly tribulation is stronger each time, forcing the powerful cultivators to become stronger. Otherwise, they can only turn into ashes under the heavenly tribulation. After reading the world introduction, Changfeng was extremely surprised. He was actually randomly in a large world of cultivating immortals, and it was connected to a larger immortal world. The realm division and the power of cultivation seem to have many similarities with the real world. Moreover, the lifespan of the cultivators in this world is long enough, even to the realm of refining emptiness. As long as they are strong enough and not afraid of the great heavenly tribulation, they can live forever. This is really a world very suitable for simulation. It seems that this time we can get a lot of benefits. Changfeng decided that no matter whether there is a big gain in this simulation, he will spend 1 million simulation points to lock this pink simulation world. Start talent selection. Please choose 6 from the reserved talents and the following talents and bring them into the simulation world. Poet Immortal, Blue. You have a lot of ideas and write like a god. The poems you write will be passed down through the ages. Supreme Sword Master, Pink. Your sword talent is shocking and unprecedented, and the power of sword skills is increased by 1000%. Refining Master, Purple. You have a very strong talent for refining, and the level of the treasures you refine has a chance to increase. Dog King, Blue. You are born to be close to and respected by canine creatures, and you are destined to be the Dog King. After looking at the talents, Changfeng did not find any new talents that could be used. Without any hesitation, he directly selected the talents of Supreme Fist, Pink, Unparalleled Combat Power, Purple, Vajra Indestructible Body, Purple, Luck Added Body, Purple, Natural Tao Seed, Pink, Concealing the Secret of Heaven, Purple. From the 6 talent slots to enter the simulation world. Simulation begins. 0 years old, you were born in the Shadow Clan of the Spirit World, and are a boy. Your parents are both ordinary foundation-building cultivators. The Spirit World is one of the most powerful realms in this world. The Shadow Clan is a weak race in the Spirit World, and there is only one ordinary Mahayana strongman in the clan. 6 years old, you show strong immortal cultivation qualifications and comprehension, and are accepted as a disciple by a master of the God transformation stage in the clan. 16 years old, your body is blessed with the Vajra Indestructible Body talent, which is extremely powerful, and the strength of your mental strength has also recovered to the peak of the immortals on land. 18 years old, you decide to practice the immortal way of this world. You did not choose to practice the Dari Burning Heaven Sutra, but practice the Shadow Clan's technique passed down by your master, One Chi transformation art. This technique can be practiced to the peak of the spiritualization stage. If you want to break through to the void refining stage, you need to change to a stronger technique. 22 years old, your cultivation level breaks through to the foundation establishment stage. Although you have the strength of the top spiritualization stage, and can even fight a few moves with the strong men of the void refining stage, you have not shown it. In the eyes of your master, you are just a foundation establishment seedling with good talent. In addition to practicing the immortal way of this world, you still nourish and improve your mental strength every day. 50 years old, you successfully formed a pill, and your master was secretly amazed at the speed of practice. 116 years old, you broke the pill into an infant and successfully entered the nascent soul stage. You are already a small master in the Shadow Clan after entering the nascent soul stage. At this time, you are qualified to understand the situation in the spirit world. From the clan information, you learn that the entire spirit world is divided into 3 continents, namely Fengyuan Continent, Laming Continent and Shuatian Continent. The Shadow Clan is located in a remote area of Fengyuan Continent, close to the territories of the human race, demon race, spirit race, wood race and other races, which are also small clans. Hearing this news, it is difficult for you to calm down. These familiar names remind you of a novel about cultivating immortals that you read in the previous life on Shuelon Star. You immediately think of the many opportunities in this world, but the most urgent thing at the moment is to increase the strength of your mental power to the great power realm, otherwise you will not be able to use many opportunities. 240 years old, you enter the realm of the God transformation stage and prepare to travel outside to find opportunities to improve your mental power. 270 years old, you enter a cave ruins and have conflicts with many alien God transformation cultivators. In the battle, you use all your strength and kill all the cultivators present with just one punch. 380 years old, your cultivation has reached the peak of the spiritual transformation realm. The speed of your cultivation is getting slower and slower. Your mental strength is the same is true for the growth of strength. 403 years old, when you were treasure hunting in a secret realm, you met a strong man in the early stage of the refining void realm. Suspecting that you had treasures, he started to hunt you down. After escaping from the secret realm, the strong man in the refining void realm still chased you closely. Helpless, you launched a counterattack, fighting and escaping. The strong man in the refining void realm was actually helpless against you. You escaped and became famous from then on. From the fight with the strong man in the refining void realm, you felt that the strength of the refining void realm cultivators in this world was not as good as the opponents in the early stage of the fusion on the 61st floor of the Tower of Babel in the main world, but the difference in mental strength was not far. 405 years old, returned to the Shadow Clan's residence and temporarily avoided the limelight. 416 years old, you easily survived the first minor heavenly tribulation. 430 years old, limited by the cultivation of the real world, the strength of your mental strength increased more and more slowly. 442 years old, you heard that there is a magical treasure called Yangshan wood, which can nourish the spirit and enhance the strength of the spirit, so you go out to look for it. 503 years old, you found clues about Yangshan wood. It is said that Yangshan wood exists in the territory of Failing Clan. Failing Clan is a medium-sized race on the Fengyuan continent of the spirit world. There are several Mahayana masters in the clan. 520 years old, you came to the territory of Failing Clan to find the location of Yangshan wood. 532 years old, a secret treasure is opened in Failing Clan, and only cultivators below the refining void stage can enter. You are entrusted by a powerful master of the Failing Clan in the fusion stage to help him enter the secret treasure to take a treasure. The reward is a piece of Yangshan wood of high quality. In the secret treasure, you killed all the people in the four directions, and the masters of the Huashan stage were not your enemies. You easily completed the commission of the powerful master of the fusion stage of Failing Clan. The other party kept his promise and gave you a piece of good quality Yangshan wood. 535 years old, you returned to the Shadow Clan territory and began to practice in seclusion. With the nourishment of the Yangshan wood, you feel that the speed of your mental strength has increased faster, but it is still far from the mental strength of the great power realm. 716 years old, you easily survived the second minor heavenly tribulation. 1016 years old, you practiced and improved your mental strength, and easily survived the third minor heavenly tribulation in the same year. 1900 years old, you decided to break through in seclusion to see if you can be promoted to the refining void stage before your lifespan is exhausted, thereby driving the growth of your mental strength. 1910 years old, you failed to break through, and your lifespan was exhausted and you died. You died, and this simulation ends.